That's right. It's episode 52 of Rinkside. I'm joined here with Supreme and Pinkman in the building today, but I also got my friend over here, Connor Bedard, Regina Pat's card, taking the next step in my card collecting hobby. I've been perusing Mr. B's collectibles, for a few selectables, but as it's begun, my brother gifted me that card. But Pinkman, what's going on in your life?
Oh, not too much. Just moved into college. First week's already down. Quick question. Any of you boys able to name a pro NHL player with the number 52?
Is the number
The
52
number
Justin Barron and
52.
Montreal Canadiens?
Oh, of course you got to go to the Habs, eh?
Not
Best 52 for you.
I couldn't name one, that's for sure.
Oh, okay. Well, at least we're in the same boat there. But yeah, things are good with you. So Supreme, what's going down?
Not too much, Potty. Just hanging out this week. Had a busy week at work. Lots of rain, lots of thunder down up here in good old Edmonton, Alberta. But other than that, just waiting for the hockey season to start up. And waiting for GOHLS playoffs to kick off. But yeah, man, that's pretty well it in my life. But yeah, Potty, what do you have for us this evening?
Well, I got a surprise for you. Compliments of Aaron Kozak. This is his son, Aaron Beastman, a real life, hockey player, but he's also the Beastman. Pinkman, you want to break down this play for us?
Yeah, running it down here in central Minnesota, Maple Grove, great arena. Starts all the way down in his own zone behind the net. He'll skate down through center ice, split the D. He's got jets on his feet. They've been moving the entire time. He'll go down, little flipper of a shot, but that goalie sprawls back, just like you see in the chill animations, and add a goal to the board for the team.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
pretty good play there. Up and coming players. Good to see the skill on the younger generation.
That was one of the highlights to really kick off the week as we turn to our plays of the week.
Give it to me like.
Yeah, we got the Dubby Energy Plays of the Week here. Number 10 coming in.
Yeah,
We
Fulton.
got Fulton Reed with
Passing it to Rose.
Copenhagen. And then, Fulton Reed, little toe drag, shooting it upstairs. Nice goal against Miami. Potty, what'd you think?
Yeah, that was a great goal right there. Fulton Reed, assisted by Rosenberg. Pretty good, demonstration of the plays. And that turns us to number 9, where it's up 2-1. Copenhagen to the hammer. We got Phillips with the puck. Bacon passes it to Owens, who then, encapsulates one in.
Good tying goal there, Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. Pinkman.
Heading on to number 8, Hiroto Ichiri. I know that player. He's up against Zurich here. Unfortunately, the goal's going to count against Zurich here. Turnover at the dots. Just can't get it in. And then there's the goal by Ichiri.
Yeah, Cherry there with a nice snipe upstairs. Good minors player there. But we got number 7 coming in, and Roy Kent. I think he's on Zurich, I believe. Is he not? But
Roy Kent, yes, I believe so.
Yeah, look at this. Nice little play there. The boys were moving the puck around really well, so that was a nice play by them. Body, what'd you think about that one?
Oh, I thought that was good. Roy Kent, he used to be somewhat affiliated with Miami. I think he may have created a new player or something, but, commend him for that play. Speaking of Miami, we got Miami on the board, 2-2, and then it gets swiped away. Rose to Leathers. Leathers with the puck, and Leathers with the goal with 3 seconds left in the second period, taking the lead, Copenhagen. Pinkman, I don't know if you saw that game. I don't remember, but there was what a game it was.
That's a tough one to swallow. 3 seconds left there. On to clip number 5 here, we got Dank Turtle coming in along the right side. He'll get leveled on the right side of the boards. And so here's Glasgow coming down the other way. Hit, finds him, backhand, and there's the goal. Dank Turtle. Good 3-1 goal for him to go up against Norfolk.
Yeah, that was a beautiful backhand by Dank Turtle. But we got number coming in. We got CGQ, beauty of a name right there. playing with Tennessee and Florence. The Tennessee comes down, nice little toe drag release up top corner by CGQ. But yeah, Potty, what'd you think of that snipe?
I thought it was a good demonstration of teamwork with assists by Biff Markham and Johnny Gamble. Good line they got over there in Tennessee. Brings up number 3. We had Jacksonville up 4-1 against Norfolk, and coming in with the puck, bringing it to the beautiful end was Jason MCI with a goal hit. Norfolk's Desperado looking thing guy looking disappointed on that one with assist by Rab and Grimes.
Just some silky mitts. Gotta be honest with that. Number 2 now, Joey Rab, earlier in that game just before, coming down the ice, gets by the defender one-on-one with the goalie and a nice little talk to tie up the game 1-1 almost halfway through the second there.
Yeah, that was a nice goal by Joey Rab. And now we're coming in with the honorable mentions, Potty coming down the ice. Nice little snipe up top left, playing for Miami against Alaska there.
How about those alternates?
Yeah, Sponge Scrub coming down. He just picked up the puck on the left side and then shot it up top. But Potty, number 1.
Number 1, none other than Scurvy Dog himself. Check that out. I don't know the terminology, but that was the sickest thing I've ever seen. The way that he made it.
Dotsuke flip. There you go, buddy.
Dotsuke flip. Okay.
Soon to be the Suzuki flip.
Simultaneous there. Yeah, amen to that, Suzuki. If only he weren't on Montreal.
Yeah, nice plays this week, guys. Don't forget, submit your clip.
That's right. It's the Rinkside recap of Week 12 in goals. Supreme, what went down on day 1?
Day 1 was pretty decent. We got Alaska taking down Vegas 5-4 in overtime. San Diego also in overtime taking down Sapporo. And then we got Albuquerque shutting out Manitoba 3-0. Tennessee shutting out North Bay 7-0. And a third consecutive shutout, Miami taking out Brooklyn 2-0. Jacksonville takes down Norfolk 5-2. Glasgow beats Copenhagen 4-2. And then Rome, the last game of the day, takes down Turku 3-2.
Wow, and what a week it was. But day 2 showed off our first game of the week. This one was Boston against Florence, striking first. Squibs Kachuk putting points on the board for Florence. And then in the second period, we had what looks to be, a massive hit. Get in the goal, and Cookie Crisps had the puck. And we passed it on to, Boston taking control in the second with a nice swoop in by O'Brien. Then Boston continued to have the puck, taking it ahead, and ultimately Cookie Crisps coming in with the second goal. Boston up 3-1. Still, the Firebirds, Ray Diddle, putting down points, and that was the loss of Florence to Boston. But what else went down in this week, Supreme?
Well, we got day 2 here, Potty. We got Columbus taking down Honolulu 3-2 in overtime. And then we got Boston beating Florence 3-2 as well. And that was one of the games that you guys had to watch for the week. We have Alaska beating Miami 7-5, high scoring game. Manitoba beating Turku 2-1. Vegas takes down Norfolk 3-2. San Diego shuts out Brooklyn 3-0. Copenhagen takes down North Bay 4-3. And then the final game, we got Albuquerque beating Glasgow 4-3 in a shootout.
Wow. What a week that was, or should I say a day. But on the day 3rd, we had a massive blowout here coming in. Las Vegas versus Albuquerque. Las Vegas with Victor Davis first to strike. Las Vegas on the dot in the end, on the offensive zone. And we had another strike again by Victor Davis. And it was really swinging in Las Vegas's favor, a lot of energy. This is only the first period, but Albuquerque there with Scoville coming in for a goal, and it was a close game, 2-1, and then future considerations pointed another one on the board still in the third period. Get this, third period, 50 seconds on the clock. Score right now is 3-1. There's an empty net. Las Vegas gets one in. 45 seconds left in the game. Guess what's happening? Albuquerque with the puck, still putting points on the board. Robert Gulch, with so I just wanted to commend them. Albuquerque, Las Vegas. Supreme will tell you how the day went down, but still fighting back.
Yeah, Pawtai is a fantastic game. It's good to see teams never giving up, even after going down 4-1. But in day 3, we got Columbus taking down Rome 3-2. Jacksonville shutting out Honolulu 3-0. Another shutout with Boston taking down Sapporo 3-0. And then you got Tennessee taking down Florence 4-2. North Bay beats Alaska by 4-2. And then Glasgow, they take down Norfolk 6-2. And the star game of the week that you guys are supposed to watch, we got Vegas taking down Albuquerque 4-2. And in the final game, Copenhagen beating Miami 4-3.
Yeah, that's right. And it went on into the fourth day here. And what a day it was, Supreme. Tell us how this one, day 4, went down.
Well, we got day 4 here, Pawtai. We got low-scoring games all across the board. We got Sapporo beating Manitoba 2-1. Rome taking down Brooklyn, score 4-2. Turku, they beat Boston 3-2. And then we got Columbus. They take down San Diego 3-0 shutout. And then Florence takes down Jacksonville 4-2. And then Tennessee, they beat Honolulu 3-2 in shootout. And then another shutout. We got Alaska beating Albuquerque 3-0. And then Norfolk taking down Miami 2-1 in overtime.
Stirred us into day 5, where our third game of the week here, Honolulu versus San Diego. It's the first period. About 10 minutes on the clock have trickled by. Honolulu's got the puck, and they're looking for an opportunity. Sliding it in is, looks like G. Hart, I think Garrett Hart. Now we got San Diego about to respond, pushed against, took a shot, went off, and then they continue to snipe it. Tony Ragone, and it went in. 1-1 was the score. Honolulu looking to respond, taking the puck in and getting the rebound right there. Price with the point on the board, 2-1. But San Diego by Shorzy tied at 2-2. And then in overtime, we had what will become the game winner. It looked at first like he was going to take a move, but he recognized that there was a better opportunity available. What a selfless teammate. And enabling Brownstone to take home the win. That was the game of the week.
Yeah, Pawtai is a good game, but lots of more games here we got for you guys in day 5. We got Vegas beating Sapporo 6-2. And then we got Honolulu taking down San Diego 3-2 in overtime. Another key game that you guys should have watched this week. And then we got Tennessee beating Manitoba 4-3 in overtime. North Bay, another overtime game, beating Columbus 5-4 in overtime. And then a massive blowout with Copenhagen taking down Brooklyn 10-2. And then Boston beats Jacksonville 5-3. Glasgow takes down Turku 3-2 in overtime. And then we got Rome beating Florence 4-3 in the final game of the day.
And that was the Rinkside recap of Week 12. Let's turn our attention now to our games to watch upcoming on this week. And, I wanted to open up, Guy Clawson, had a loss in his family. So, our thoughts and prayers are going out to him. And, we love you, Guy, man. And, he still was able to provide his picks for the upcoming week. These are the games you want to watch. Number 1, Glasgow versus Rome. Rome and Glasgow are looking to clinch the last playoff seed in the Mr. Hockey Conference. What a game to watch. Number 2, Florence Firebirds at Boston. Both teams are sailing high. Florence is soaring high, and they're looking to keep high in the playoff standings. What's going to go down with this game? Finally, we've got Norfolk at Bad, two teams that are looking to close out their season strong. Those are our games to watch for week 13. And now we move along to Infi's hot takes. These are coming in straight from Infi. If you didn't check them out, they were posted in, I don't know, league content or something previously. Now we've gotten exclusive hot takes from Infi himself. So let's talk about it. We got 4 of them here. When it comes to the playoffs, number 1, according to Infi, Mr. Hockey Conference is going to dominate based on how strong that conference has been all season. And when it comes to that Mr. Hockey Conference, number 2, Infi thinks Jacksonville is not going to make the finals and will get ousted in a dramatic fashion beforehand. What do you guys think of that one?
Yeah, I'll say Jacksonville is probably the favorites going into the playoffs, and so seeing them go down in a blaze of glory would definitely be in somewhat of a dramatic fashion, I'd say.
Well, number 3 coming from Infi is believing Turku might be the scariest team going in, having won 6 in a row. They've really found their stride. What do you guys think? Are they on a galloping pace? Are they swimming deep in the water? Are they the dominant species?
Yeah, I don't know. 6 in a row, that's impressive, especially going into the playoffs hot. But you never know. Sometimes teams can get burnt out a little bit. But it'd be interesting to see what they do for sure. Hopefully, I think they'll do good as a little bit of an underdog, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yep.
I'd say just how it depends on how everything finishes off on who they'll end up playing first round. If that hot streak will continue, it really depends on how strong their opponent is heading into that postseason.
Well, there it is. But finally, and this one I think is the most interesting. If he thinks there will be no 4-0 sweeps the entire playoffs, there's too much competitiveness spread around after expansion. No 4-0 sweeps. Do you guys agree?
Yeah,
Nah.
that's a hard one
Oh,
to feat, because sometimes teams just get on a hot roll, like Jacksonville going in. Yeah, they're going to be hard to beat. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we see 1 or 2 sweeps along in the first round alone. Pinkman, what do you say?
So we've seen it IRL. What was it, about 3 or 4 years ago? Columbus taking down Tampa. That was a 4-0 sweep, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd say you can't consider it out. Tampa was the very favored team there, and they still went down 4-0. So you could see maybe Jacksonville, like they said, go down 4-0, but I don't think it's something to rule out.
well, there's always possibility. Anything's possible. And I've seen crazy events concur, with the wisps of words of wisdom. So let's move on to our standings here. We're going to start off with our conferences that are moving in from the live stat with 47 games played, all in fourth, Las Vegas, Alaska, Albuquerque, Honolulu, and then still with 46 games played, Tennessee and Columbus. But those are the 6 teams in the lead right now with 47 points. We've got San Diego with 46 games played and 45 points, so there's possible they're still fighting for it, but it looks like that's going to be where you see with the playoff standings. San Diego, followed closely by North Bay, who has 43, Manitoba with 41, Sapporo with 30. And coming into Mr. Hockey, we got Pinkman telling us the lowdown.
Jacksonville sitting on top, 75 points. They ran away with that side of the standings along with the entire league itself. Nice separation from Vegas over on the other side, 68, 75, not that close, almost 10 points. Boston second, they were right behind. Jacksonville, Copenhagen, right there, 2 points behind. Florence, Turku, Glasgow. That last spot certainly is going to be a close one with a nice little mix and match with Glasgow and Rome being the last 2 teams trying to fight for that spot. We saw Glasgow as one of our featured matches against Rome, but even then, Rome is 4 points behind, so it's going to be a nice little mix and match that Rome needs to get out of it, and if they want to claim that last spot into the playoffs.
That's the way it goes down in the pros. But let's turn our attention to the minors.
Yeah, we got the minors here. The playoff bracket seems to be set already, 1 through 4. We got Chicago at 55 points, coming at first. Prague at second with 48. Zurich pulling ahead of Montreal, I think, for the first time in the season at 42. Montreal, the final team entering the playoffs with 41. And then you got Pittsburgh and Toronto sitting at the bottom, both with 24 apiece. But yeah, it should be an interesting playoffs in the minors this season.
Even with those Pittsburgh and Toronto, 24 points, not even being close. They've got some notable names there. Pittsburgh's got Hiroto Ichiri. Toronto's got Velvet Dove. So, it's not that they didn't have decent players. It just wasn't really their season.
Yeah, it sounds like there's going to be some, like Tupac had this poem called like a rose grows from concrete or something like this, but it's like, from, kind of the ashen kind of wasteland, something emerges. And I think those are going to be two higher up picks, coming down from those teams. So, let the stories be written, but let's talk about the leaders that are coming in. We've got Dew with 30 goals, tied with, or not tied, but 2 points ahead of David Leathers, who's tied with Victor Davis with 28 apiece. When it comes to assists, Amelia Rose taking 30, Essex Denabola with 29, who's tied with Jason Willis with 29. And points, David Leathers with 55, Blaze Henderson with 50, who's tied with Essex Denabola with 50, which I think is interesting that there's a leader and then there's 2 people that are tied with it.
First off, time on ice leaders, a fun little stat that we keep track of here. Bobby Brownstone from Honolulu leading the time on ice with 1,226 minutes, 47 seconds. Seeing a lot of defensemen getting on that or leading the time on ice. Short shots on goal, only 165. I'm really surprised that this category is that really low. I thought it'd be a lot more.
Yeah.
Jake Molyneux from Boston, a lot of forwards leading or heading up that category. Next on to the power play goal leaders, Trevor Lopez being a threat. He's got a 3-goal lead with 14 total, with Voodoo right behind him. Voodoo's the overall goals leader, however. And then shorthanded goals leaders, we got Brennan Arisp Romero, the Sapporo Steamer himself, leading with 3 shorthanded goals. Kind of a surprising amount by just how little there are over the entire league, but maybe it's spread around with lots of ones. But 3 is the leader. Bunka Murray from Tennessee with 2. CS Palomares, is that how you say that?
Palomares. Okay, well, those were some sick ones, but we got some more coming right at you. The league leaders is really about all the different stat categories. We're, thrilled to be able to highlight those. Let's talk about hits. Hits are always so impactful. We got Jace Taylor leading with 174. Bobby Brownstone, who you saw featured earlier, with 169, trailing in number 2. Penalty minutes leaders, Shady Meeks, followed by Jerry Jackson with some numbers that are absurd in the upper 50s. Puck possession time leaders, Billy Big Hits, as well as second place Chris Lee. And from the games I've called on the streams, Chris Lee's always an impact, along with Leighton Lee whenever it's an Alaska game, and a bunch of other players on that team. But I know the Lee brothers are taking shots a lot. So when it comes to plus minus, Doug Britton again and Frank Castle are leading with 33 positive a pair. But nipping at the heels are David Leathers and Grizzle Bear with 30 apiece. And our final piece of league leaders comes down to these categories. Pinkman, what do you think?
Well, save leaders, Chris McBride, Brooklyn, actually. That's not really... It's a little surprising seeing a pretty low team, but the goaltender for such a low team probably faces a lot of shots, as you'd assume. So Chris McBride leading that one for Brooklyn with 1,346 saves. Joey Duncan for North Bay right behind him, and then you start to get down to the 1,100s with James Bays, JT Waters, Jan Lassick. Moving over to the save percentage leaders, Chibium Lashinger for Boston, a 908. Pretty low, no Linus Olmark averages to be for sure. Jan Lassick right behind him with a 907. Jared Brody for Jacksonville, a 906, JT Waters, a 905, and then so on after that. We start to get out of the 900s. Tony Puckstopper, the last one there. Shutout leaders, 11 total for Brody over in Jacksonville. An astonishing amount, though. That is very surprising to see. Shoutouts to Mason Stonewall, Lashinger, and Shotzenstopper for kind of getting up there with those as well. Especially even in Sapporo for five shutouts, that's a surprising amount. And then lastly, goals against average leaders. Brody leading that one with the lowest GAA, 1.88, and then Lashinger finishing out in the ones, 1.98, and then everyone's 2 and up from there.
Damn. Well, those were the league leaders. And, let's take a moment to highlight the rookies. Goal leaders, Javad Storm with 15, RJ Corker with 13. When it comes to assists, Tom Adamo Jr. leads the pack in unison with Billy Hawk, each holding 17 a pair. But Javad Storm is only 1 point behind with 16 assists. And actually, when it comes to points, let's talk about Javad Storm. He leads the league as a rookie with 31 impressive points. Billy Hawk holds 28, and those are our rookies of the season. So, when it comes down to the breaking news, let's talk about the transactions. There wasn't too much that was eventful, and as I make this source visible, when it came down, the Montreal Magic had to release Ethan McWells. San Diego Reapers released Alec Cage. Alec Cage will continue to remain on the Reapers until the end of the season due to the league waiver rule. Montreal Magic signed Adam Gallagher. Toronto Beast signed Dylan Whitley. And the Prague Sabretooths signed Ryan Corey Schultz. Closing us out, Prague Sabretooth released Harry Cheddar, who left the server. Then the Prague Sabretooth signed Sebastian Sovalian. And then Henry Benry, who I believe is Harry Cheddar, since returned and will be added to the pending assignment prospects team. Wow, what a fantastic week it's been and a week to come. Supreme, what's on your mind for the future ahead?
Yeah, man. Future ahead there. I know the viewers might have noticed already, but Yodi's not here. He's currently out this week, so he should be back next week, hopefully. And then, but yeah, other than that, we're going to start trying to bring you guys a little more content on maybe some minor stuff. And we're definitely going to dive into a lot of the playoff play. And we'll see if we can get some good playoff highlights on the go for our plays of the week. But other than that, Pinkman.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit more content, some split up clips just from here alone. We'll have more episodes up on Spotify. But other than that, I'm real excited for the Miners playoffs. I know the boys over in Zurich are as well. But that's all I really got to finish out this episode.